Hello dear students, how are you? This is your social book, page 61. Today we will start a new lesson which is types of houses. We will talk about the different types of houses that people live in. So let's see this map first. Here we have the map of the world and we have here some kinds of houses that we are going to talk about in this lesson. For example, here we have the igloo, we have the skyscraper, we have tents, reed houses, houseboats, and mud house. These are the types of houses we are going to talk about. The underlined, now you should know that the underlined lines here, you should highlight them at home. People around the world build their houses in different styles using different materials. Yani here, for example, in Jordan, you can see different buildings. Not all the buildings are the same. They are not the same. You can see some villas, you can see some apartments, you can see some very tall buildings, small buildings, and so on. So different styles of buildings and different materials. Now, long ago, people used materials that they found near where they lived. So they will look around them, see what are the common materials around them, and they used them to build their houses. Today, many people build their houses using materials made in factories. Again, long ago, they didn't have factories like us nowadays, and they didn't have many options. This is why they used the materials that they found near them. Here is the map, we talked about it. Show different types of houses built in different countries around the world. Let's start identifying them. The first one we are going to talk about is the tent. So tents are found in desert of Jordan or any other desert in Saudi Arabia, for example, in Yemen, okay? The Bedouins live in tents. They travel from one place to another. Why tents were very useful to them? Because Bedouins used to travel from one place to another. They didn't stick in one place. They travel looking for food and water. So they travel with their sheep and goats looking for food and water. The tents they live in are made from black goat hair. So you know that Bedouins have a lot of goats. So they use the hair from the goats to make their own tents. Let's see here a video, or not a video actually, this is a picture of the tents. All of you know the tents. If you have watched any Bedouin series, you will know them. Here are they. Okay, they are made again of the black hair of the goat. Okay, let's talk about another type of houses. The other type here, page 64, in very crowded cities such as Hong Kong. Hong Kong is very crowded. It has a lot of people. So there is no enough space for all people to build their houses. So because there is no enough space, what are people doing there? Some people live in houseboats on the river bank. Here are the houseboats on the river bank. Okay, because again the city is very crowded, so they came up with this solution. Here is Hong Kong boat. Just a minute, let's watch it together. It has no sound. These are the boats that we know. Here they are. The houseboats look as if it is a real house. On the river bank. Again, here they are, okay? So, because the city is very crowded, what's wrong with them? This is why they build their houses on the river bank. Also in the river it's very crowded, look. Okay, let's see another thing, another type of houses. Let's talk about something really interesting, which is the igloo. You used to draw them and so on. Long ago, in the very cold area of eastern Canada, people used to build snow houses called igloos. Igloos kept icy wind out. Let's see how they used to build it. Again, this is long ago, not these days. Nowadays, people live in modern houses that have heating system. Let's see how they used to build these houses, these igloos. It's very interesting. I will not put it. I will not put the whole video. You can watch it at home. But let's see part of it.
Drifts. An igloo provides the Eskimo with shelter during the long winter months. Easy to build once you know how. His home is compact and strong. The igloo gains strength from its ingenious design. After the first row of blocks has been put in place, one block is cut to form a sloping surface. The second row is started on this slope, and the blocks built up in a continuous spiral, the key to the whole structure. On the west shore of Hudson's Bay, the low rolling terrain offers little protection against the bitter cold of the northwest wind. Tupac and Akiutok, having left their families in the igloos of the winter camp, are coming into the post to trade. They look forward to a mug-up of tea and pilot biscuits at the trader's house. Become more acute as the walls grow higher. Being right-handed, Tupac works in an anti-clockwise direction. Left-handed Eskimos build in the opposite direction. Blocks will vary in size, but are usually about 3 feet by 2 feet by 4 inches thick. The blocks produces the familiar rounded beehive shape. This rounded shape is another excellent example of good use.
Like I said, nowadays they don't build it. Okay, let's talk about another type of houses. Here it is. Okay, many houses built in the Hadramaut, it's Hadramaut in a region in Yemen, are still built today using bricks made of mud. Okay, bricks made of mud, not the concrete that we use nowadays, of mud. Look at them. I will show you now picture of it again in houses in Yemen. So if I ask you, where do we find these houses? In some regions of Yemen, like Hadramaut. Hadramaut it's called, I think, yes. Let's see the mud houses. Here they are, bricks made of mud. And they are actually tall buildings. Okay. Now let's talk about another type. This is 66. Okay, 67. Okay. Now we will talk about something really interesting, which is the reed houses. If you remember, we talked about the reed when we were talking about the water plants. The reed, that this is a water plant we find it in the river bank. Let's see who used or used to use them. People who live close to river banks, such as the southern Iraq, used reeds to build their houses. Reed is a type of grass that grows in wet areas and on river banks. So they use this reeds to make houses. Let's see a clear picture of these houses. Actually, this picture is not clear, representing the reed houses. Let's see it. How they used, again in Iraq, they used to build these reed houses.
House requires only one building material, reeds. They are collected from the surrounding marshes to form everything from the frame, walls and roof to the rope for binding them together.
They are using. They collect them together.
As modern building methods begin to creep in, these ancient skills are at risk of being lost. Simplified versions of reed houses are often built for personal use by local families, but the elaborate and resilient style of the communal motif survives in the hands of a few aging craftsmen.
See? So again, people use the things that around them, near them, any material that is near them, they use it and make houses out of it. Now, let's talk about the skyscrapers that they are common nowadays. In large cities such as Chicago in the United States, people live in very tall buildings called skyscrapers. We also talked about them in science. Now, hundreds of people can live in one skyscraper. This is why it is very useful, because hundreds of people can live only in one skyscraper. Let's see these buildings. These are very long, and if you remember, we said that they are called skyscraper because they can reach the sky and reach between the clouds. Here they are, okay? Now, the last thing, today many people around the world build their houses using materials such as concrete, glass, bricks, and steel made in factories. We talked about these materials in our science classes. Like I said, in Jordan we have different buildings, different types of building. Here are different types of building here in Jordan. Okay, so again, glass, concrete, steel, whatever we use in factories. Where is now? Just a minute. I want to put your... Now, this is your workbook, page 26. Types of houses. Match each type of house with its picture. Here is the reed house, a mud house, skyscraper, and houseboat. Please match them at home. This is page 27. I didn't solve it. I want you please to solve it at home by yourselves. Look at your book and then solve them. Complete the sentences using the words here in the box and match each type of house with the material used in building it. Yani, black goat hair. What do we use the black goat hair for? For the tents, snow, and the grass. For making what kinds of houses? And draw a picture of your house. Draw your house here and name a place in which you would find the following types of houses. Mud house, where do we find it? In Yemen, like I said, in Hadramaut. Tents, desert of Jordan or desert of Saudi Arabia. Correct. Houseboat, Hong Kong. Skyscraper, you can say, for example, in Dubai, Chicago, wherever you want, any place that have skyscrapers. Okay, hope that you enjoy your lesson and understand it. Have a nice day. Thank you.